So think about it. Lack of nutrition is a problem, right? That is a problem of life. The lack of nutrition. So when we're thinking about the problem of the lack of nutrition that the gospel ultimately will solve, right? When Jesus puts all things right under his feet and then delivers it to the Father. But now today in this life, you may say, I'm going to start a business that raises food that is the most nutritious that it can possibly be on earth in this world of sin. So that individuals who lack nutrition have an opportunity to get access to more nutritious foods. What are you doing? You're helping to solve a problem that this life presents. Or you may be one that says, well, I'm not going to grow the nutritious food, but you know what I can do? I'm going to teach how people can combine their foods so that they can get the most nutrition out of the foods that they already have available to them. I'm going to go about teaching people how to do that, how to combine their foods together in the best way possible so that guess what? It can solve the problem that they're having, that they're not getting enough nutrition based on how they're going about eating, drinking, etc. Right? Is that a problem that life presents that many people don't even have an understanding of what the best way to do these things is? Of course it is. And so your service would be to teach people how to combine foods properly, right? We talked about poverty, right? Poverty is a problem that the gospel ultimately will solve and do away with, okay? But today in life, you may say there's many people in poverty because they don't understand how to use credit. They don't understand how to leverage credit. And I'm going to have a service, right? I'm going to put together some products that can be a blessing to those individuals, right? To help them to uplift themselves out of their impoverished state, out of their impoverished state of thinking, acting, doing, right? Out of the way that they're using their income, right? Out of the way that they're handling their finances. I'm going to do that for them. That's what my service, that's what my product is going to be. What are you doing? You're solving a problem of life, right? There are many people, right, who need to understand budgeting. And you may say, I don't want to deal with credit, but what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to get really granular, right, and help them how to really put together a tight budget, right? So that month by month, they really understand what they have coming in and what they have going out. That way they can start seeing and making more better financial decisions because they have a better understanding of their financial position. You may say, that's what I'm going to do because that's the service, right, that I'm going to bring to those who need that. Because guess what? There's a problem that I see. I'm going to help solve it. It doesn't matter what you do. It could be hair loss, right? So I'm going to have a salon that gives styles that make those who are losing hair in different ways, give them different options to be able to use, right, what God has still given them to still feel beautiful, to still feel like they look great, right? Or maybe I'm going to create something that actually can still make that hair that is starting to grow a little slower to pick up speed and grow at the same rate as the rest of the hair that's on their head. That's a product, that's a service that is solving a problem of life. And guess what? It doesn't matter what problem you name. The question, though, is for your business, what product, what problem are you solving? How does your product answer to an issue that individuals have in this life? How does your service answer to a problem that individuals have in this world? And if you can't think about what your product or what your service does, how it solves a problem, then we have to go back, one, to God in prayer, two, to the drawing board, right? To really think and figure out who are we serving with our product or service? Who are we blessing? Who are we benefiting? What problem are we solving in this world? Because guess what? The greater the problem you solve is the greater the value your product, your service, your business has. It's the greater it has, right? And so this is what the gospel teaches businesses, right? The greatest problem in life is sin. It's the cause of all problems. The greatest result that comes as because of that sin, right? It says the wages of sin is death, right? And so death is the greatest cause, right? But in between those, there's all these other issues. And guess what? The gospel solves every single one of them. It solves the sin problem, it solves the death problem, and everything. And so the question is, for our business, right? What problem are we solving? We may be aiming at solving the cause of the poverty issue in the first place. Or maybe we're dealing with to address some of the results of what has come because of that cause. But at the end of the day, what problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? As an entrepreneur, we have to figure out what problem we are solving. Because guess what? A great business, right? A business with great value follows in the lines of the gospel, right? Following God's lines, right? And we conduct business how God conducts business. Because God is the greatest business owner this world has ever seen. He has put things in place, and they are still going from time and time, right? He understands all things. He understands everything, right? So we follow in his footsteps, right? And seek to do business the way he does business, right? So it doesn't matter, right, what industry you're in, it doesn't matter what lane you're in, right? There's enough issues for you to be able to provide value to those people in that area. Doesn't matter your business, doesn't matter your industry, doesn't matter your lane. Stay in your lane. And guess what? There can be multiple people in the same lane, multiple people in the same industry, because there's so many people, right, who have problems in this life and who need assistance, right, in various different ways, right? And again, there's so many problems, right, that you can name it. There's some people who need help seeing. And so you may create some new type of glasses, right, that never break, right? So we ain't got to take them in and get new whatever all the time, right? It doesn't matter, right? There's literally so many problems in this world. The question you have to ask, though, is what problem am I solving?